And okay, got it.
Sure. Hey everyone, welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I am here with a special Sunday edition of Love After Lockup. And I'm here with my recap and a special interview with Britney and Kerok. You see them right here. Thank you guys for joining me so much. Britney, we've had you here before, but Kerok, this is your first time. You were driving her when I was interviewing her. I heard you in the background, but this is the first time I have you here on screen. Thank you for joining me so much. I appreciate it. So, guys, it's Britney's week. It's Britney's birthday weekend, and you guys are turning it up. I love it. I love it. Happy birthday, Britney. How old are you again?
Thank you so much. I just turned 23.
Oh, you're a baby. I remember when I was 23. Girl. So, all right, let's get into this. Let me pull up my questions. And guys, what is your favorite thing to do together now that you have taken your relationship outside of the walls? Name one thing. Kerok, you go first.
We're gonna say it together. 1, 2, 3. Pray. All right, baby. That's what's up. It's sure. Yeah, it's prayers. Prayer is gotten us very far.
Yeah.
Our faith walk, this is just the beginning. And
we're not perfect,
but it's only getting stronger. We realizing like praying every day, multiple times a day is a stress reliever. It feels good doing it and just talking to God and just receiving the word. So
talk to me more about your faith walk, Kerok. How has God helped you now with your transition after serving 7 years in prison? Talk to me about everything that you're going through now and how God is helping you with it.
Wonderful. Let me tell you, when I was it took me a long time to get here, with my faith and just me accepting myself, like when I was a kid and young, I was like very bitter, and I didn't know how to respond, correctly to correction. I didn't like it, I didn't like for people to correct me. I didn't like for people to talk whatever like that. So it took me a long time. And it wasn't until I didn't find God until I was at the lowest place in my life. And that's prison. You don't get no lower than that. You go to prison and you dead. That's it. And he's helped me tremendously because while I was, on my 40th night while I was in SEG about a year ago, I asked God to basically show himself to me. I asked him, why should I fear you? We're supposed to love you. Why should I fear you? And I was in SEG in a hole behind false accusation. And I was doing about 60 days, but on my 40th night, he revealed himself to me. I went to the gates of hell, and it's not no exaggeration. I was there. I can tell you this story in my sleep. I can tell you my eyes closed. I can tell you if I was, it doesn't matter. Like I really was there, So this is why I'm the person I am today. This whole 360. Why I don't get hype anymore. Why I don't find this, or why I don't take this, or I take an insult and run with it. Or,
you don't sweat the small stuff anymore.
No, I don't. And I literally can tell you that it's because of God, man. Like it's nobody else but him, for sure.
So, Britney, we had talked about it was your idea to sign up for the show. So, Kerok, what did you think about when Britney came to you and said, "Hey, babe, I'm going to sign us up for the show"? What did you think about it?
Man, I was for real. Like, I was just like, what happened? I had just got finished working out, matter of fact. And it was early in the morning and she was just all, B is always hyper. Like she always hype, you know what I'm saying?
Except for when I first wake up.
Yeah, don't wait. Yeah.
Me and you are the same girl. I feel you. Yes.
Coming out of hibernation.
We were supposed to do this, guys, on Friday. Okay. But these guys fell asleep. They took a nap. And Brittany logged on to the Zoom and she looked like me when I first wake up. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. Don't ask me my name. Don't talk to me. Right, girl?
Yeah, especially if I haven't had no coffee.
Yes. That's why I was like, girl, don't worry. I was like, don't worry. You look like me when you first wake up. Okay, so Brittany's all hype. She comes to you and tells you about the show. And
she calls me. I call her and she tells me, and I'm just like, do it. You know, you can do whatever you put your mind to. I don't see why we won't succeed. I say, pray about it and do it. And she did. She said, I'm about to pray about it right now, and I'm doing it. And here we are.
So what was your so how was your transition? Because not only are you trying to transition back into society after spending so long in prison, now you have cameras in your face. So how are you dealing with that?
Oh, it's definitely hard. I mean, I'm a very weird person anyway. You know, I'm very, 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 very paranoid, which I pray about all the time. I don't like large crowds, really. If I do, I have to get a section closed off or get, just to us. But I do, do that to accommodate my he's calling again, excuse me. My fiance, you want to pick it up, you want to. But I believe it's wrong, so no. Okay. I do it to accommodate her and to, just I'm trying. And even when I was in there though, it was different. I love the crowd. Everybody used to give me rap in front of them. We used to do concerts, talent shows. I was always, with the crowd because that's what I love to do is music. But I mean, like I said, I'm very strange. So like just to come home after, doing such a very long time and it took us 5 hours to actually, leave from my prison. So when I came out there, it was 104-degree weather. Okay.
Right.
And they're telling me as soon as I get out, I get on the ground. This is no act. I didn't need them to tell me this. I get on the ground and I pray to God. I remember even kissing it, kissing the street, kissing the concrete, and I'm praying to God and I'm thanking him for allowing me to see this. Okay.
We don't see all this. And we don't see all this.
Yeah, for sure. They don't. And then, let me tell you something. Me and B we've been filming. And when I mean every morning we start off with Daily Word or Daily Motivation. What's the other package, baby, that you always read to me other than our Daily Bread?
Jesus Calling.
Okay. I mean, every morning faithfully. And I ride the phone at least 3 times. We're back to back and we're talking about God. TD Jakes, love him. Love the man. I just do. I watched him every single morning. And that man got me through a lot of times, man. But they don't really you need some water? Good.
Yes.
They don't really show all of that. Oh yeah. They don't really show all of that because they can't put too much religion in there, obviously, sadly. But yeah, so
I know that they cut out a lot of the rap that you performed.
Yes, they did.
Right?
Oh my God.
That was another thing that they edited.
Terrible. I won't even mad. I wasn't even mad about mad about it because bad publicity is good publicity either way. Though it was just crazy, but I was like, hey, you know what? I asked for this. I actually had a scene where I was rapping to my brother also that is deceased now. And I told him, do not play that. I said, do not play that. If you guys cut that out, don't disrespect my brother like that. Allow me. I'll do my own time and do it when I can. And you know what I mean? For sure.
Oh my. So how has social media feedback for you so far, Kerok?
Okay. So I love it. And me and Bree daily, we get a lot of hateful DMs, comments.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that tell me,
unfortunately, yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of people that tell me if they ever see me or gonna kill me or it's people like you that's disrupting this world. A lot of yeah. And what I take with that is I had to learn while I was incarcerated how to deal with this because I knew this lifestyle was coming, right? I've
Right.
always had faith that I was going to be on TV and do something with myself. But I did not know that I was going to be praising God in the process and putting him first. So I learned how to deal with that. He humbled me for sure. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we take we call this like this bracket, and we take all of our haters, people that, hate, and we put them in a bracket. And we pray for them and we love them anyway. So that's the God honest truth. That's how you have to do it.
Right.
That's how you have to do it, because if you don't, then you'll never succeed. We pray for our enemies. We pray for those who tries to come against us. Pray for those who don't like us.
The
Who speak
ignorant
on us.
comments, I could
For sure.
imagine.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
You
get a
just have to
lot.
pray for them. You just
I
have to
get a
pray for
lot.
them and their
Yeah.
ignorance.
And as
Yes.
of right now, I mean, there's not really too many transgender men on TV, a reality TV show. You know what I'm saying? I think
Right.
it was a dude off the Fosters, but I don't know how that stick would go. But you get a lot of drag queens, that's doing their thing, but it's not trans men. So right now I'm like targeted a whole lot. You feel me? Which
Yes.
is okay. Which is okay, because you have to do that. Sometimes you have to carry that cross.
Right. Do you get a lot of mean messages, Brittany? Because I can imagine what people have to say to you too.
Girl, I get so many
I've
messages.
deleted a couple of
Yeah.
comments from my YouTube videos that I'm like, no, like, please, like, I just
Oh,
cover you guys in general, and people are so ignorant.
I mean,
I have, and not sounding cocky, but even since I was a little girl, I have always been the type of person that was most hated. Like, it was just like, people are very jealous, envious, or ignorant, you know what I'm saying? And they don't have an understanding to certain things that either doesn't pertain to them, or I mean, if it does pertain to them, if they feel that it pertains to them, they can waste their time being angry and hateful. But I just grew up always being like kind of disliked. So for me, it's not really anything new. I just never have cared, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I do, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't go to prison for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
Right.
waste 3 years of my life to come back and be some crazy in the streets kind of girl, or like to be talking the same way that I was talking back then or acting back then. That's not me anymore. When I met Kerok, I was not doing good in there at all. I used to do drugs. I was really, really
still
bad.
beautiful as ever, though.
And thank you, baby. And I had actually been coming out of a relationship and was getting into my faith walk. This is before I knew Kerok.
Yeah.
So I happened to meet him and everything. And when I got with him, I ended up going to SEG to follow him because we didn't live in the same building. We lived together. We had a lot of haters, even in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, this is not anything new. And I almost feel like the same way how being on a TV show is like everybody knows you about, blah, blah. It's kind of like that in prison too. Like, it's its own little world. You have the people that are most known, the people that do this. And so Kerok was always one of those people, very well known. And he used to be with somebody else, you know what I'm saying, before me. So we had haters. Like, it was nothing new to
Right.
to come into
Right.
this and have haters.
Yeah.
But there's
Right.
2 ways you can go about it. Am I going to sit here and waste my time talking, stuff on the internet or whatever?
Nah.
Like, that's literally just me wasting my time, wasting my breath,
So,
and tapping my little fingers away. I'm not about to do all that.
Mhm.
And you also cannot fight every single person that doesn't like you. You don't have
it's
to
so
like
many.
me.
It's so and we
You
not
don't
even
have to like me. It's
sure.
okay. God loves me.
Absolutely.
And God loves you too. You know what I'm saying? At
Absolutely.
this point, it's kind of just like, even though I'm very young, I've been through a lot of things in my life. And me and Kerok are not perfect people. We still, have our days or whatever. And sometimes we do get irritated, and sometimes we might feel as a normal human being, oh my God, this is making me feel like I want to say
Right.
something or I
Because
want
you're
to
only
fight.
human, right? You just want to clap back sometimes. I can imagine.
But when you sit down and process that, you realize that it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Just a waste
It
of time.
is. It is, because you're not going to change their mind. You're not going to change their point of view. And getting into an argument is just going to get you upset.
And
And
you know,
it's
the crazy thing is, I even remember, like, I didn't fight a lot when I was in prison, but I did, you know, have a couple fights. And I do remember, like, this one girl that I fought. I disliked her so much, you know, and we got into a fight. And most people, they fight, right, because they feel that they want to get their anger out or whatever.
Mhm.
I am not that kind of person, because I'm still gonna be angry after I fought. Like, so it's like now.
Oh, Brittany, we are so much
wasting my
alike.
energy on you.
I simply I do boxing. I have been training now for a couple of months. I was kicked out of my other class because they
He's
were
not a professional boxer, guys, before we get all these comments.
No.
He does this for fun.
Did you start boxing in prison, or this was something you took up on the outside?
On the outside. So in prison, working out. Everybody that knows me knew that's what Kerok did.
All day, every day.
Every day, all day.
Lord.
If you land in the wing with Kerok, he gonna make you work out with. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I'm talking about I love push-ups, pull-ups, anything. I mastered it where I was able to do 300, 350 push-ups in just a couple of hours.
Not exaggerated. This is like for real.
Yeah, I love to work out. So I started boxing because it's a really, really good way to build your stamina, and it's a good way to stay fit. And it takes frustrations out, stress, whatever you're doing, and yeah, it's really good. I got kicked out of my other class because it was like, oh, so we didn't know you was on TV. Well, look, you know what I mean? You got to take this serious. You can't be on TV. So you either gonna be a fighter or you're gonna, go on TV. So they kicked me out. But my other dude I got now, he's cool. He's really chill. He's like, I don't care what you do, man. You come in here and I'll train you. We get it on. That's it.
There you go. That is fucking fantastic, Kerok. I love to hear, when people are doing healthy things, picking up healthy habits. You guys are doing your faith walk.
Yeah.
So now when you guys go out in public, okay, it's your birthday weekend, Brittany, you guys have been partying out in the club. Do you get recognized by fans? Do people go, oh shit, that's Brittany and Kerok?
So we went to a lounge.
Yeah, we don't do clubs.
Okay.
It's a little too much for us.
Too extreme. And
we're both very paranoid, and it's like all that people, and then we don't drink liquor, but we drink wine.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's like, that when you combine these things, like you combine a club environment or alcohol. Or something,
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just too much. So like, even when we do go to the lounge, it's usually like a VIP section, because we like to be more secluded, and kind of do our own thing. We're kind of there just to vibe to the music.
Do you guys just get recognized going out in public, just like running errands?
Yeah. For sure. We always stop and take pictures, speak to them, say a couple of encouraging words, tell them how good God is, because this is why we're here. This is what I'm doing.
What was that?
What?
You said this is why we're here.
I'm sorry, baby. You know it's a time.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so cute. I just want to say I love you guys as a couple. You guys are just
Thank
cute.
you.
Everybody in my comments love you guys. They think you guys are adorable.
God bless you.
Kerok, your reunion with your family was super, super emotional. Everybody wants to adopt your mom. So now I want to talk.
They can't have my mom.
I know. But everybody.
They can't have my mama. I'm mama's boy. I mean, proudly admit it, after doing 7 years without my mama, physically, like I love her.
And she was sick. And she was sick while you were in prison too. So I can imagine what you were going through, right? I mean, that must have tore you up. Not being able to be there for her physically.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So, you talked about your relationship with your father and how God helped you find forgiveness for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's craziness, Kerok. I mean, your father really, I want to say did you dirty and you were able to forgive him.
He did. My father. So when I was like, growing up, my father would always say just hateful things, right? Like
Right.
I'll be in the room and I remember playing toys and I have my friends there with me at like 8 years old, and he'll come in and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I hate you and I wish you were dead." Then he'll close the door and walk out.
Oh my God.
So all of
Ah,
I thought you knew that.
I mean, yeah, I knew that,
but
it's
that's
like
just
every,
like
yeah,
hearing
Somebody
it.
said,
I know, just hearing it. It's just like, oh
it's
my
like,
yeah,
God.
even when you know something has happened, you know what I'm
Right. And
saying?
then
Like
hearing it again.
I know that he
yeah,
had a rough, with his dad and everything,
yeah.
but
He told me so.
it's just sick.
When I was like, okay, so my
I'm
mother.
gonna grab Red Bull. I'm
All right.
sorry.
So
Yeah.
my mother was talking about doing what's that thing called a PAPS a
A
PAP
pap
smear.
smear. A pap
This
smear.
so
Yes.
but so I won't have
Right.
that, right? Yes. I will.
Mm-hmm.
So, you good?
Excuse me. I'm sorry,
No,
Mary.
don't worry. Go ahead. Go ahead, guys. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
I'll let you know. I'm touch you. Just make sure
I'm
you
good.
You sure?
I have really low energy lately,
Mhm.
so I
Yeah.
gotta
No.
drink this.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. So your mom was
So
talking about having a pap smear. You weren't
yeah,
having it.
yeah, for sure. But so my doctor at her she was my pediatrician at the time. Her name was Mrs. Bell.
And you
I
were
don't want
about how old at this time?
to I think like 13, maybe
Okay.
14,
Okay.
14, 15, I don't know. And anyway, she tried to do like a little tool or something and try to mess around with my man's down there. And it of course she couldn't, proceed with it. So she looks at my mother and says, hey, virgin, like all the
Right.
way
Right.
through virgin. My mother
Right.
is like happy, she's get on the phone, she go back to the, house, and she's always known that, but she did this is before I came out to her, but she's on the phone like, hey, I know I'm doing something right, she does, and when I was, yeah. So after, the fact, my father came to me and he was like, I'm gonna just tell you like this, he wasn't drunk, he was sober, he was just like, um, if you're still a virgin by the time you're 16, I'm gonna get you drunk and make a man rape you, and I'm gonna record it because I'm not gonna have no, dyke in my house. Now, see, my mother, when he would say things like that, she wouldn't, she would never hear him because my mother would
Right.
beat his, she, even though my pops is like 6'5", 6'4", my mom did not care. You know what I'm saying? She was one of those where she would go in, especially
Right.
behind hers, And I knew then, like, because I was already in the street life, but I knew then that, hey, look, he got me messed up. Like, if this man really try to do something like that, I'm gonna have to take my own pops out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking in my head. Like, oh, he's really trying
That
to.
is so sick to say.
I know.
Yeah,
It is so
yeah.
sad to have to think.
So
I
let me
know.
tell you this, though. Let me tell you why my father was like this. My father was like this because of my grandmother. My grandmother
Okay.
was mentally disabled. So
Okay.
when my father used to come home from school and all this, he would go to his he would go out, he would go in the house, and his mother would be scratching at the walls until her fingernails bleed, and he would be crying saying he's hungry. My father also been through a lot. So sometimes when people go through those things,
It's a
you
cycle.
become
It's a cycle.
it
Hurt
recycles.
people hurt people.
But
Right,
you can
exactly.
stop it. You can stop it if you
Yes.
choose to, and you stop it with God, And so like that's that cycle, it stopped with me. So the last thing my father had told me, well, so we was on differences. I was like, bro, I said some crazy stuff to him, and I walked in the house, and I thought I contemplated a lot, what I'm saying, on actually, harming him when I was younger, because I'm thinking like he's gonna get me or something, or I just gotta stay away from him. My mother ends up saying, what's going on? Been out the house way too long. Anyway, fast forward. The last thing my father told me was, hey, he went up top to Connecticut to save my grandmother's life. She had kidney failure, so he was giving her food, and he ended up stressing his own self out into a brain aneurysm. It's subnaural hemorrhage. That's what it was, subnaural hemorrhage. But he calls me on the phone. He's like, your grandmother's doing good. I'm on the phone with him while he's ready to have this, like really having it. And I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me that. What's up? You need anything else? Because we weren't on good terms at all. It
Right.
was like, well, man, my head hurt. I just want to let you. I was like, all right, bro, I ain't got time for that. Hung up the phone. I don't care if your head hurt. Next thing I know, I hear my mother scream. I hear her scream, this loud scream, like literally a minute after I hung up the phone. And I go in the room and I hear the doctor, and she has on speaker. She said, say it one more time. And he's like, we have your husband here, man. You know, we need your permission. We believe that he's having a hemorrhage or aneurysm of some sort. He's bleeding. And I guess it was nose bleeding. I'm not sure what was bleeding. And they were like, can we have your permission to cut us out of his head to see if we can stop the bleeding? She says, do what you got to do. So
Wow.
they even like it was so like the story was touching to people because they were like, hey, like this man, you know, he stressed his own self out by trying to save his mother's life. So he gets into a coma. My grandmother died 5 days later, and he's still in a coma in a I forgot what is it called. It's like a halfway coma, halfway, but and Connecticut, Haven Hospital, they actually drive him all the way down to VA. You know, at the time we didn't have so much, money to be able to do that. And they voluntarily do that because they felt that was like so touching. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So when I came home with my father, and even when he came out the coma, my father did not believe in God or anything. When he came out the coma, he had a trach in his throat also. So he was talking like, this, and he still talks with that to this day, even though the trach is gone. But he said, I love you. I'm so sorry for everything I've ever done or said to you. And he said, I heard God tell me to tell you that I love you and I'm sorry.
Wow.
And so I still was at that stage where I was still mad at him, but when I got locked up, I let all that anger out and that.
And 7 years is a long time to think.
It's a long time to think.
Yes.
So I let all that out. When I came home, my father, to this day, my mother still takes care of him. Good woman, she takes care of him still. He is like,
God bless your mom.
he's kind of like
your mom
paralyzed.
is a solid one.
She's great. She's a good woman. He's kind of like, even though like they're not even together because she, mom got to have a life. And he was also very verbally abusive to my mother. She takes care of him. She washes his private areas. She gets him off the toilet when he needs to. She changes his Pampers. I mean, all of that. And even me, when I come home, man, now I ain't changed his diaper. You feel me? I'm gonna be real. I ain't changed his diaper, but I would empty out my pop's journal. I'll cook him food when he's hungry. I'll bring it to him. And while I was doing it on like the third day when I came home, I realized that I forgave him. I realized that everything he said, did, I forgave him. Like I was no longer angry no more. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and like, I love him because now he's like 10 years older than mine. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He's really 10 years older than mine. And so he has his little sweet moments and stuff, but
he can be bad too.
Yeah, he's really bad. He get kicked out of every nursing home. Thomas is a trip. Yeah, my mother does not want any cameras on him, and that's her call. That's his okay.
Right, of course.
But if they would have record my father, I'm gonna be real. My pops is funny, man. He is a funny dude. He's a funny guy. We have this thing in our brain that if we think something, we can keep it in our mind, keep it to ourselves. He can't.
He has no filter. Right, that's it. It just comes out.
So we in the store, and I'm pushing him. He'll see a girl with a big butt. He'll be like, "Oh man, I want to put my," and I have to close his mouth up. He cannot go to. Thomas got kicked out of every nursing home that there is. Nobody would ever even when we take him to a rehabilitation center, they hated it. They were like, please got to get this man out of here. I mean, we take him to like a daycare, and he got kicked out of every daycare. He tried to sell cigarettes on the daycare campus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he said he was selling for $1 a pop.
He used to before we moved. So when I first came home, I came to live with Kerok's family. Right. And they had this house for years. You know what I'm saying? They've had this house for years. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Kerok's mom has been through a lot. Like, she literally lost her eldest son. You know what I'm saying? Then, their grandmother dies. Then the father goes into the
that all happened in like a month period. That all happened back to back to back to back. My mother is so strong.
And then on top of that, her 2 sons got locked up. Kerok and TJ got locked up.
Yeah.
Because they committed their crime together.
For sure.
And so when I came home to live with them, like Kerok hadn't even seen, and for his mom, it was really hard to see him being locked up,
Right.
Never visited him because it really hurt her.
And
I had to literally like, I became very close to his mom. You know what I'm saying? I came into their home and she welcomed me into her home with open arms. I came in with literally a trash bag full of clothes and a little cat. You know what I'm saying? We did not always have money,
Right,
obviously. You
obviously,
know,
right.
um,
She fed
but
you, she took care of you.
yeah, she took care of me, and you know, I used to be like 112 pounds,
a
like soaking
104
wet.
when you came in my house. Stop trying to
No, baby, I
put
was
pounds on your
112.
little hand.
For real, I was 112. I um I became very depressed when I was in prison. Like I said, I used to do drugs and stuff.
Right.
And I never did any hardcore drugs, like hardcore drugs at home, but I did when I was in prison. So when I came home, you know, Tammy really helped me regain into life. You know, she was gonna give me this room upstairs, the attic that used to be to
Oh, I lost them and I'm sure I will get them back. Give me 1 second, guys. I hate when that happens, when I lose my guest in the middle of an interview and I'm on a roll. Okay, we might have had technical difficulties, but I'm sure Brittany will come back. Give me 1 second, guys. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you guys for all the kind comments. I see it all, and I'm just hoping Brittany and Kerok will come back because this is a great interview. I'm having fun. Mm. Okay, guys. I think she's trying to log back on. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I hate when this happens. Maybe their phone died or something. Oh no.
Please leave your message.
Guys, I apologize. I hate when this happens. But let me text her. Okay. Their phone died. Give me 1 second. I have to send them the link. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna do this. Wait. Give me 1 second, guys, to do my technical stuff. Brittany's phone died, and I am going to send Kerok the link. Okay. And they should be back in any second. Sorry about this, guys. Here we go. Got him. And they're back. Give me 1 second. They're logging on. Can you hear
I'm
me?
so sorry. I
Don't
have a
worry.
bad habit of not charging my phone.
Don't worry.
But
There we go.
like I was saying, you know, she was having, you know, all of these issues and whatnot. So unfortunately, you know, she was sick. She was, you know, so her house literally, like, she couldn't even take care of her own house. So when I finally got Kerok and his mom, you know, to do a video visit, and I walked him through the house, he was like, I don't even recognize my own house, because he wasn't there to help her, you know. But when I say that Kerok did everything that he could while he was in there to help provide for us, like, he did his thing, you know.
Right.
And I think that's another reason why, like, his mom and him have such a good relationship, because um you know, it's just like to be so grateful, you know, to have a son that can do that for you, you know. I'm talking about I came home with about $3,000 or $4,000, and I
Okay.
spent all of it probably in the first like 2 weeks that I was home. And you know, Kirok makes sure that, you know, I had clothes, that I had shoes, that, you know, everything. Like, so coming into that house and having all of these people love me, like, it was definitely just a blessing. So when I remember meeting his dad too, like, he was crazy. He was like, "Are you Puerto Rican?"
That's how he talk too. That's how he talk. I'm trying
Oh
to tell
my
you, people,
God.
he is
And
crazy. That man
Oh
like,
my
I
funny.
used to, you know, and I tried to help his mom as much as I could. You know, I ain't changed no diapers now, you know, but
Right,
I would
right.
watch him for her and, you know, empty out his urinal, make him food. I used to play cards with him sometimes.
Yeah, I play a lot of chess with him. That's one thing. His mind still is sharp when it comes to certain things like
Right.
chess,
Right.
money, and
Right.
counting. Very, very like genius. Like, yeah. But I love him. Just want to say that so much.
So we didn't know that you committed your crime with your brother, Kerok.
For
So
sure.
so how much time did your brother serve for the same crime? Or
So he served about 3. Yeah, about 3.
okay.
You gotta realize too. Also, like I was the like
Mastermind.
yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, and I admitted that. You know what I'm saying. I didn't.
And this
I
is
didn't.
your older brother?
Yeah, but he's my older, but for real, like younger, because
Right.
he's only a year older, but you know, I look after him too. I look after my brother. I try to look after my whole family. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like that's what I just try to do. But yeah, he's crazy
Wow. So your mom has been through it, and
for sure.
she's, you know, we all love her, Kerok. And that first meal, I wanted to be sitting at the table with you guys. That
Girl,
first meal,
listen, I gained
Kerok.
like 30 pounds.
Hey, look, you ain't gotta tell me, Kiki. Listen,
Mm,
baby, I love me my mama food. Look, my mother, you know, we're also Jamaican, right? My mother can cook her.
Say it.
go
Just say
ahead.
it.
I'm
Say,
gonna have to say it. I'm gonna
just
have to
say
say
it.
it.
Just say
She
it.
can cook
Cook
her
her ass off.
ass
You can
off.
curse here. You can
And
curse,
I mean, yeah,
please.
we trying to, but we're not really.
Right. I know.
We
I
try
know.
not to curse, but sometimes it be getting difficult, you
Sometimes
know?
it slip
Right.
out, but we started this 90-day right now, just where
Right.
we're not trying to say, you know, remove that from, it's small steps at a time.
Right. I just want to say it is so refreshing coming from this old lady to see young people so involved with religion and really trying to be an example. It's so refreshing because, you know, this with the younger generation, you really don't see that. You don't. And I think it's so refreshing, guys. So, how does God play a role in your rap career, Kerok? You're a soul rapper. Let's talk about that.
Everything. Okay, so it's a different type of rap, right? Like when I first started out my like this like kind of like ghetto gospel, like, or ratchet gospel, however you want to like call it, like when I first started it, a lot of people, like especially in the, the pen where I was locked up, was like, man, how's that gospel music, like, that this turned up, like how was that like gospel music? Because I have some really good things that I have not even released yet. I'm dropping my music video soon though, very soon. Can't even give you a date right now because it's definitely gonna be in November.
Everything's still in the works.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna be in November. But like when I mean it's dope, but like I have this I have this thing where it's like, so I'm this kind of person, right? When Jesus was sitting at the table with Mary, and his disciples had asked him, what is he doing? You're the Holy One. Why are you sitting with her? And he looked back at them and said, it's not the righteous that I want, it's the sinners. That's who he's here for. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when it comes to me, how I move is I know a lot of people would like, they can go, let me use somebody for example. Okay, Kirk Franklin, love him to death. You know what I'm saying? Love his music, love his skills, love his voice, all of that. But where he would go to go preach at or go, do music at, you know what I'm saying? He probably wouldn't, 9 times out of 10, wouldn't step foot in a club to spread the word, for preach the word. You know what I mean? Like as far as like music wise go, it kind of feel like,
Right.
not being disrespectful to him because I love him, you know what I'm saying? But probably basically just like, he'll rather be in a different kind of environment and get different setting. Me, I'll go to the trap house to go speak to the dudes. I'll go talk to anybody anywhere. You feel me? I will go to the lowest place to bring somebody out of that lowest place. That's
Right.
what kind of individual I am. My music is not for the righteous. Granted, it's for the sinners. It's for those. My music is for those who actually who still in the pain that they in and who still feel
I
it.
was just literally about to say that.
For sure. That's what's up, baby. Whatever you feeling like, I want people to be like, oh, I'm gonna go hear that brother Kerok, like, come up, go bump that, like before I go do this, or before. If you want drill time, listen to me. If you want this type of time where you feel like you want to go cook some in the pot, whatever the case may be, like, I relate more to, street, and I relate to both, parties. I'm very versatile, but that's where I actually came. I really came from the south side of Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't just take that out of me. I have to still, you know what I'm saying, like be myself, but in the same sense, I just want to show people that when you put God first, look how far you come. Look how far you come. Look where I'm at. Like this is nothing but God. I don't take credit for nothing. Real life, nothing.
And I love hearing you talk about God like that because so many people don't give God credit.
Yeah.
I believe they don't.
That, and because the LGBTQ community has definitely been targeted a lot by some churches.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree. Yes, that I agree with.
We walk up in church and we don't get a good hello, a good friendly. So it's so weird to me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're literally looking at somebody, so because of what you do in the bedroom, I don't like you. And keep moving. That's some weird stuff.
And then,
I don't care about what nobody does in the bedroom. I'm not nobody.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna look at you. What you
as
doing
long
in the
as you're
bedroom.
not sleeping with my husband, I don't care what you're doing. You know what I mean? As long as you're not
Period.
sleeping, period. As long as you're not fucking my husband, I don't care who you fuck, honestly.
Lord.
So that's the way I think other people should think. As long as you're not screwing, your partner, as long you shouldn't care who people screw.
I'm drinking my Red Bull.
I know, I'm getting high.
So
yeah, and it's crazy because I went to one church, before I came home. I honestly, fell off a lot. I'm trying to get back to that point. But when you're in prison, it's kind of easy because, for me, I didn't work in prison. I didn't really have to work. I did work probably for 2 weeks, and then I worked again for like maybe a month or two. And, then I followed Kerok to sex, so I stopped working.
Right.
But like I used to be really in my Bible, and I had a structured routine to everything that I did throughout the day. But for me coming home, like it's been really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard because your attention span gets taken away. You have phones and all of this and like just all this crazy stuff. But I will say like definitely it could, for example, even like with the church, right? So when I came home, I wanted to go to church. because I wanted to feel the spirit, I wanted to feel moved. I went to a Catholic church when I was growing up. So
Girl, I know about the Catholic Church.
Saying that, yeah.
hold on.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Mom is actually calling him. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
So I wanted to feel the spirit because I was feeling so overwhelmed from being home. So
Right.
eventually I did find a church and I liked it a lot. I went to a women's convention that they had. It was 3 days. It was so beautiful. My teacher from beauty school actually was going to this church, so she had invited me. So I go and everything, and I love the church. I was speaking so highly of it to Kerok, because it was like, oh my God, they're not judgmental and all this stuff. So one day I finally go and they say they're accepting of all people, they accept you the way you are, you come as you are.
As it should.
But
I was about to say that.
As it
Like
should.
it should be.
I
Like
feel
it
like
should
that
be.
if you are a true believer in Jesus Christ, why wouldn't you accept nobody?
Exactly.
People that they need help. Excuse me, this is my mother. I have to take this.
No, go ahead, Kerok, please, and tell her we said hi while you're at it.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hey, honey, how you doing?
Hey, Mom, I'm on an interview right now. They said, hey, by the
Hi,
way.
Tammy, we love you.
Hold on, wait.
Go ahead, Kerok, go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Britney a couple of questions. Go.
But yeah, so we go to continue to go to the church and everything. And so one day I get on my knees and I start crying and everything. And they pretty much started to pray about, being gay or being, trans, identity problems and stuff like that. And I was crying because I was like, it really hurts.
I love you more. Bye.
It really hurts to, want to go somewhere with your significant other, that the house of God, right? I was crying because I wanted to go so bad to the house of God and bring him with me. But I was upset because they were gonna look at us different, and it was so upsetting because they say they accept you the way that you are, but once you come in, they tell you it's okay. God is going to work on you and he'll change you when you're ready. But what if it doesn't change?
Right. And why would God want to change me if God, accepts me for
not
who I
saying
am?
that God doesn't change you, because he does,
Right. Right. No, but
there's
like,
certain aspects,
right,
yeah,
certain
that, like,
aspects,
that might not change.
right.
Yes. Yeah, that means the Cash App went through. So it's like, oh, who's that?
It's
housekeeping.
Should we let them come in and just while we're?
I don't know. Hola. ¿Será que estamos haciendo una entrevista ahorita? ¿Será que pueden regresar como en media hora? Sí.
Porque me dijeron que viniera a las 5.
Sí, es que nosotros estamos en un programa de televisión, entonces estamos haciendo una entrevista virtual y pasamos un poquito por el tiempo de que estamos. ¿Será que pueden regresar en 30 minutos, por favor?
Checo, si me autorizan, regreso. Pues, mandaría a otra chica.
Ok, gracias, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias gracias mucho. And all right, señorita.
No problem.
I'm going to ask him about his Spanish in a minute. We're going to get to his
Girl.
Spanish in a minute.
But so let me tell you, so
Mhm.
the lady, the pastor of the church, she told me, that she, can't tell me that it's okay because it's in the Bible and, whatever. And so I was like, okay, I didn't even pay it any mind because I felt that because I really love God, I don't even care if this pastor is preaching about whatever, right? Because I'm still going to hear the word of the Lord and feel his spirit. But I ended up bringing Kerok to the church when he came home, and literally they were preaching about having identity crisis, they said, or, being, different genders. And the way that they were just referring to it, like it was so sickening.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that. So we're so happy that now we have a good church that, you know, we can go to, but it's really hard to find a church. And then you have to think on top of that, when a lot of people see us as a couple, if they don't know the show, they don't know that we are part of the community, you know,
Right,
because
right. No, not at
Kerok
all.
is, you know, Kerok hasn't had any surgery or anything, but you cannot tell, you know, that he was born different.
Right.
You know, nobody would ever
Mhm.
know.
Mm-mm.
But sometimes when people find out, they may look at us a little different.
That's
you
when
know?
the judgments come in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I don't know what you do in the bedroom, so I don't like you. To me, that's just
It's
crazy.
sick.
It's
Right,
just
it's
weird.
sick.
It's really weird. I
It
don't
is.
care about you being straight or you know, not having sex before marriage, whatever like that. Like I don't care about any of those things. I just think it's really weird people do stuff like that.
Mhm.
But to each his own, and God bless them anyway.
Exactly. So, Brittany, what are your career goals? Like, what do you want to do for yourself within like the next year?
Well, you know, so the thing is, I don't really talk about beauty school too much because I can't give away certain
Right.
things
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
whatever from the show. But I, you know, am trying to end up getting my license. And so I'm kind of in a little process of that right now. A lot of people think that I did not go to school, but I did go to school. I have multiple videos of me doing hair and stuff. But I had
Very good.
originally
She's
went
good at
in.
it.
I have been doing hair and makeup and everything since I was a kid. You know, I have two aunts that when I was growing up, they had a salon. And
Yes.
I always did my aunt's hair and makeup and stuff. My grandma, we used to go to a party every single Saturday, no fail, because everybody knows my abuela. So everybody always invited her. And so I would do everybody's hair, whether it was, you know, doing a silk press, flat iron, braids, whatever. So
You're the one
I
that
had been
everybody goes to get their
that
hair done in the
everyone in the
family. Yep.
family, came
Mhm.
to. So I had been doing hair my whole life, and I always wanted to do hair. But when I actually started school, then I also wanted to be a makeup artist before. I used to be really, really into makeup before I got incarcerated. I used to actually work at Ulta and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But when I came home, you know, the makeup had changed so much, everything had changed so much that like it was kind of confusing to me. So I went
Girl, I
into
tell you, there's so many products out there. I wouldn't even know what the fuck to
I
start with.
went
Yeah.
into beauty school though, thinking that I wanted to be a hairdresser, and I actually found a love for doing nails instead. I love to do nails. I love lashes. I love, you know, makeup and hair and everything. But it's definitely a process. When you go to beauty school, it is very time consuming. You have to have the time for that, you know, and it's very it's definitely a lot, you know. So I'm hoping that between the next year that, you know, with my practicing and everything, that I will at least be able to start, you know, a small business. I don't want anything too big because honestly, like, you know, we're trying to get married soon, you know, we do want to have kids and stuff like that. So I want to be able to still do what I love, you know, and still be able to be kind of like a stay-at-home, you know, wife in a way, but I still want to work, you know, I still want my own business. I would like to become an influencer, you know, I like to do all different kinds of things. You know, I have that petition for my best friend, Holly
Right.
Landry, you know, I want her to come home. So I'm fighting for that. Like there's a lot of different things that I like to do. We now have a church home, so I'm hoping to become more involved with the church. You know, it's just so many things that I want to do. I couldn't even tell you what my career can be like in a year because I'm the type of person that I have so many dreams, and Kerok always gets so confused because I'll be like, one day I'll be like, I want to do this. And then the next day I'll be like, oh, I want to be, you know, I want to model dresses or I want to model clothes.
Right.
And then the next day I'll be like, I want to have a shop. But I am just a true believer that whatever I want for myself in my life, I will be able to do that. J-Lo is an actress, a dancer, you know, designer,
J-Lo,
got makeup
yes,
line.
exactly.
That is the
She does
kind of
everything. Yes.
that is the kind of person I want to be. You know, and it's a time thing though. It's like, you know, when I was a kid, I always thought I was going to be famous. I always thought I was going to be on TV or something. And I mean, here I am. You know, maybe
Yeah.
it's not what I thought it was going to be, but
Exactly. But hey,
it's
you
a
got to start
start.
somewhere, right?
It's a start. And so I wouldn't be able to tell you, Mary, where I'm going to be in a year. I just feel so blessed, you know. And I'm also trying to do this thing. I've been a control freak my whole life. I'm very controlling. I like everything to be planned out and stuff. As a child, when I was 8 years old, I called a store to ask them if I could work there. I told them I would work for $5 an hour. And I had my whole life planned out at 8. At 8, I had my whole life planned out. I wanted to go to school. I knew exactly what high school I wanted to go to, what college I wanted to go to. You know, I wanted to be a nurse or a dental hygienist. Like I had my whole life, and I wanted to go to high school that had cosmetology in it so that I could do hair and stuff while I was in college. Like I had my whole life planned out, and it turned out to be a complete different route from what I thought it was going to be. And that's because I didn't have God the way I have him now, you know? So it's like,
Right.
I always was trying to like, just, I was bad, you know, like I was in the streets being bad. I was fighting, I was getting kicked out of school and stuff. And I forgot how beautiful and blessed it is to have, you know, this. And my mom and dad, like, even though I'm not super close to them, you know, school was very important to them, you know, and so thank God that they did push me to that because I have my high school diploma at
Right.
least. And you know, I'm just gonna give my life to God. I just want to give my life to God. Like I feel that He's going to, if when it's time for me to start a business, He will have me start a business. I feel like I don't want to stress about that. You know, I used to love music. I wanted to be a rapper, but that's not really in my forte anymore. But like I just feel like God does everything
Right, exactly. Everything
at the
happens
right
at the
timing.
right time. I'd see
So
the impression that I get of your parents, Brittany, is they're like the strict Hispanic,
yeah,
Catholic, immigrant. They don't necessarily understand a lot of
yeah,
things, you know. So I could see how, like in this past episode, you were talking about growing up in a strict household and you always
mhm.
wanted to hang out with your
Yeah, that's my
friends and
bad.
do things, you know, and
Mhm.
you lied to them. And then when something bad happened to you, you felt like you couldn't tell them what really happened,
Yeah,
you know. So watching you, like, my mom was a deaf mute, so she was always like very overprotective of me, and she didn't want me going out and hanging out with my friends. And I was listening to you talk about your parents, and I know a lot of strict Hispanic parents. Like my
yeah,
friends growing up had like strict Hispanic
yeah.
parents, so I was like relating to what you were saying. So what advice would you give to young girls that may find themselves in that kind of situation with immigrant parents who don't understand America, who don't understand all the stuff going on here, but they want to be a part of it,
Yeah,
so they don't find themselves falling into the same kind of trap?
yeah. I think, you know, like, and I'm gonna speak to this like as if I were to be speaking to my sister. I don't have a sister, but
Right,
if I did,
exactly.
you
Right.
know,
If you had a little
um,
sister, exactly.
it's so hard as a young person, I think, and especially in the Hispanic and Black community, they don't talk about mental health. They don't talk about abuse, you know, domestic abuse, sexual abuse. They don't
Exactly.
talk
No, they
about that
don't.
problem, and it makes us very angry people, and like angry kids, you know, and really like the only thing I can tell you, sis, is give God a chance, you know, just give him a chance. You know, it can be as simple as, you know, be with me today, guide me. It could be that simple. And like, I literally want to cry because this is just so emotional for me. Like, I'm talking about, I had a very, very rough, you know, teenage years. I tried to kill myself multiple times, and it was not in God's plans for me to die.
No, it wasn't. No, it
I
wasn't,
took
girl.
I took 300, 550 milligrams pills of Tylenol. I overdosed on it, and they literally had to take me to another hospital. And I literally remember throwing up. My body was shutting down and rejecting, and
Right.
my parents did not understand me, and I was always an outcast because I was always very outspoken. I was just very crazy. I was a fighter. I was so bad. I used to talk crazy. I had a nasty attitude, and I literally remember just throwing up, and I literally passed out from throwing up because I could not breathe from how much I was throwing up, because my body was shutting down.
Right.
And my mom was, standing next to me, and she was crying, and she didn't understand. And, and a lot of people, this is why a lot of people, they might not understand or respect my parents or my relationship with them. But I know that I've also been very hard. I've also was a hard child to deal with. My brother is autistic.
Okay.
And so my mom, she was always very, very stressed out and busy, and
is
like
your
you
brother
said,
younger than you?
yeah, he's younger
Okay.
than me. He is
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
16
make
now.
you cry. I'm
No, it's
sorry.
okay. It's okay, but I like to tell my story because
Right.
I want other girls to know, like, no matter where you come from,
Right.
what color you are, thank you, baby, what
Right.
color you are, what race you are, whatever neighborhood you live in. Because I was born in Yonkers, New York. I grew up in the south side of Yonkers by the
I
Riverdale
know
Project.
exactly where you're from, girl. I know exactly where you're from.
I used to live right across from the Riverdale Projects. Like, I'm talking about, this is my apartment, and
Yeah.
this is the Riverdale Projects I had to walk through every day to get to my bus stop and everything. And I used to talk really nasty. I was not well educated or anything
Yes,
like
I know
that.
exactly where you're from. Mhm.
No, it's okay. And I thought I was this hard girl. I wanted to be this hard, strong woman because
Right.
I wanted to be different from my parents, who my mom is very submissive. I felt that she was weak-minded, because I didn't understand what it was to be an adult yet. And so that's what I'm trying to get to with this. I get a little carried away
No,
sometimes.
don't worry. Go
But
ahead. No.
my sisters out here, like, I'm telling y'all, just give God a chance, and take care of your mental health. I'm talking about, I have been sexually abused. I have tried to kill myself. I have been a drug addict. I have been through every single thing that probably a 40-year-old grown woman has been through in the 23 years
Yes,
of my
you
life.
have, girl. Yes,
I've
you
went to
have.
prison for 3 years. I'm telling you, sis, you don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I had an easy prison bid. I didn't have a hard bid. I was very financially stable. Kerok also helped take care of me as well. Even though my dad took care of me the whole time.
Right.
I fought, but I wasn't too bad. It's good like this, I think. You don't think so?
No, you guys are okay with lighting. Don't worry, you guys are fine.
So but to see, like, my best friend Holly, she has life. She's never coming home because she did one thing when she was 16. She's remorseful of it. Me, for example, I did this armed robbery with this guy, and I didn't feel any remorse. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't feel any remorse during my prison sentence. But what really helped me is when I sat down and talked and started to talk to God, is my friends, they will never have the opportunity to live a normal life again. And maybe one day they will with God's help, right? But I know people that they're never going to have that opportunity, and you can say you don't care about your life. I didn't care about my life either. But you have to care about yourself, because even your mother and your father, they care about you. It's not enough. It's not enough. Love. You have to love yourself to be able to get out of these things. If you're being sexually abused, there's hotlines that can help you. Don't be afraid to call the police. I thought that if I called the police, I was a snitch for being raped. I swear to you, I did. And I didn't understand, but do what you have to do for you, because you need to put yourself first.
Yes.
Being
you
a
have to take
strong
care of
woman,
yourself.
being a strong woman sometimes means being vulnerable. And I think that, as when you growing up in the hood and stuff like that, that's something you don't want to be. You don't want to be vulnerable. So we, put the stuff to the side or whatever. It's okay to be vulnerable, sis. Like, it's okay.
It is okay. It is okay.
It's okay.
Kerok, I want you to name one thing that you love about Britney and one thing that annoys the fuck out of you about Britney.
Okay. Her spirit is what I love.
Mhm.
Heart, spirit and heart. Um, what annoys me about her?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I just got this feeling that I do have to say. I don't know if any girls out here, if y'all follow me on Instagram or not, but God is telling me, you know, if any of you guys ever want to have somebody to talk to, feel free to DM me and just in the first sentence, literally put Brittany, I need to talk, or Brie, I need to talk. Just write me that. I'm down to talk to anybody, and I know what it's like to have nobody.
Well,
I'm so sorry, I
I'm
didn't mean
sorry,
to
we
cut
was
you
gonna do
off.
on that. We was actually gonna say, but as far as like, a prayer.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I want to talk about that
I
too.
also just want to say to back her up on that before I tell you how
Right.
annoying something she does. We are also ready to start like doing prayer warrior challenges. So like anybody that feel as if you need to get anything off your chest, or you want to pray for a specific person, if you having trouble, if you having issues, financial, anything that's just
Anything
emotional,
that comes to
whatever
your
the
mind.
case is going on,
Right.
definitely DM us and let us know, that you need us. We're going to try to get back with everybody, but we're going to individually send videos of us praying about that specific situation.
And it won't be going anywhere. It's not going to be posted
Right.
on our social media
Unless
or
you guys
anything.
post it yourselves. that's
Yeah,
it.
but it's going to be directly, message
You guys.
back to you. I used to have nobody to pray with,
That's a great idea. I like
stuff
that
like
idea.
that. And Kerok also used to have nobody to pray with. Now we pray together. Sometimes we pray alone, but
Yeah.
we really want to, and don't feel like you could be the most gangster out there. If you need
For
a
sure.
prayer, you need
For
a
sure.
prayer.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely don't hesitate to.
Everybody needs a prayer one time or another.
For
Yeah.
sure, man. And look,
It doesn't
ain't
matter who
nobody
you
perfect.
are.
Yeah.
Exactly. So speaking of not being perfect, Kerok, how does Britney annoy the fuck out of you?
What do I do? That
I would say that
What is it?
nothing.
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 Come on,
Nothing at all.
What is it for real, man?
Britney, it's your turn. Name one thing that you love about him and one thing that annoys the fuck about.
Okay. That noise list is pretty long. I'm just kidding.
That's what's up. Yeah, she do me, y'all.
So, I think one of the things that I love the most about Kerok is that, and it sounds so weird, but he's versatile. And that has always been my favorite thing about him, because I don't feel that I'm stuck to just one person. His spirit is so beautiful. Like, it can be anywhere. We can go to, the slums, or we can go to, beautiful places. I love that he's versatile, because I'm able to talk to him about things that I might not be able to talk about with somebody else, because their mind just doesn't get into that, so I can be really deep with him. And then I can also be very goofy with him. He's very
Right.
funny, and we're very, very playful and goofy.
Right.
We're weirdos. We are.
Trying to get in this life.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
looking like a shrunk match over here.
Oh my God. Don't say
I
that.
can say that about myself.
But I just, I love his spirit too, but
Oh, see, they don't even
I just-
know.
We definitely see the goofy side in Kerok right now with his Spanish skills before. How are the
Oh my
Spanish
God.
skills improving, Kerok?
They getting there. I'm trying to get on the seat, baby. Right? Because y'all don't understand. We got 2 seats together right now. She got 1.5. I'm literally on the edge. My cheek is hanging out, bro. Come on, man.
Well, I'm a little fluffy.
It's not fluffy. You're perfect. My Spanish is doing pretty good. I actually started,
He has not been practicing.
I haven't
at
been
all.
practicing, but I started actually like trying to speak Spanish. I was learning it when I was locked up. This guy named Mexico that we called him.
Okay. So you're trying, okay?
I'm trying. Tratando,
Brittany's
right?
like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Brittany's like, I don't know about that, but he says
He
he's trying.
tries. He
He's
tries,
trying.
and I appreciate the effort of him trying. Definitely though, when we have kids, I told him, I said, I will definitely be speaking to my children in Spanish since they are born, because it will be the easiest way for them to be fluent.
Exactly. Oh, yes, definitely. Start them off early bilingual. Yes.
Mhm.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about having mentors like Kelly and Coffee. How important was it to both of you to have mentors like that for you?
For me, I never seen it as having a mentor.
So that way you can see it more.
Okay.
Because that way
Okay.
right.
Okay. So, my best friend, and they haven't really put this in the show. She has called me while we're filming, but they haven't put it in. My best friend Holly calls me all the time, and we talk all the time, and she's very encouraging, and she really helps to guide me in a lot of things where, she's older, so she definitely, compliments my mind. And I always, for some reason, like, I don't have a lot of friends that are my age. I have Shayla, and then I have
Right.
another friend that I, recently made. But I really like to be around older women,
Same here.
just because I think I'm just a little bit older in the mind. But
Right.
she's more like a sister to me, and I think that I wouldn't use it as mentor, but I really feel that God put her in my life for a reason, because she helps me, when I'm not feeling a certain thing that I might not want to talk to Kerok at the time about.
Right.
And she'll help guide me through that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also, coming out of prison, we're constantly obviously at risk of going back to prison. And I think talking to somebody in prison also helps remind me, where I came from. Like, I could never forget that part of my life.
Right. Exactly. And
And then Kelly and Coffee are great too. I mean, they're part of Key Rock's life, but they're part of my life too, because obviously we're all together.
So
right,
Um,
exactly.
but they're great too.
How has Kelly and Coffee um for you, Kirok? How have what have their roles served for you since you've been home? Like with Kelly being on the inside and Coffee being on the outside.
So Kelly being on the inside again, it's a reminder of where I was at, and the same sense that what happened to me, because even in prison, like I said, I met God. That was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. So I would say that she's very supportive. She's like leader of a couple of NA groups, AA groups. I mean, she's just mad positive. She's 50, beautiful, beautiful.
So sweet.
How
And
much
just full
time
time.
does she have left to serve?
A lot, a lot.
Wow.
It was back in the day, so they
Mhm.
charged her twice for one murder. We're currently trying to find her lawyer now to get her up out of there, because she served her time. God knows she served her time, man. So we trying.
Wow.
And we understand everybody has different views. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Y'all don't have to believe that these people deserve to come home, but we do. So we're gonna fight for them. Um, and we're just gonna keep praying.
So
Right,
We're just gonna keep
exactly.
praying.
That's all you can do is keep praying. Um, Kirok, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to another couple that had a relationship on the inside and that is trying to transition from inside to the outside?
Whew.
And
take
then
your
Brittany,
time.
you're next.
Take
Okay,
your
take your
time.
time.
Be consistent with um like just fruitful things, that knowledge that can just that you can just take in. Be understanding of every situation. Be Definitely get familiar with your surroundings. Adapt quickly. Um,
Okay.
but when I mean adapt quickly, I just mean just like whatever situation that you're having at the time, or you're going through, you feel like that, adapt quickly to it. Meaning, like, just take it all in, but allow your process to just allow your mental process just kind of slow it down, but just take everything in the same sense. It's definitely really hard. Like I said, I'm still. It's definitely it's hard. It's
Right.
hard. And I'd say, like, I went to SEG a whole lot in there. I even have a list of like charges that I had, and I was in there. I've also got a malicious wounds indictment when I was locked up a few years back.
Traumatized.
Right.
And by the grace of God, I beat it. I'm okay. It's not a process, whatever you want to say. But it's definitely been a struggle. When you are just that one person and you are in a small cell by yourself and with no human contact, no going outside, no rec, no nothing, you literally drive yourself crazy. When you
Right.
see things, I mean, it's in the human like nature that a human
And
is
then
not.
like everybody is living their lives outside and you're
No.
inside in this box.
Yeah, especially when in the hole was
crazy.
definitely very, very, very hard. But I mean, I was in and out, and I'm thank God I finally got it together. But it
Right.
was very hard. It was hard. I remember one time taking a pencil and drawing a picture of a smiley face and taping it to my pillow. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it seem like that was a person. You know what I'm saying? Really,
Right.
really.
So Kerok, when Britney came home first, how were you able to deal with it? Like knowing that Britney was on the outside and you still had some time to serve. Like,
When we weren't together then, we wasn't even on talking terms. Like she reached out to
Actually,
me.
I prayed on this a lot,
I wasn't talking to her.
at all. He hated my guts.
I didn't hate you. I just disliked, you know, whatever. I just disliked that the fact that we weren't on, talking terms or whatnot. And I'm gonna say I didn't hate you. I disliked your character at that specific time.
Mhm.
That's what it was.
okay, so
Yeah.
when you first came home, you guys weren't on speaking terms.
No, so actually, you know, we've talked about it a little bit on the show, but not really too much in depth. There was, infidelity
Right,
issues
right,
on both ends.
right.
And
So when you first came home, Brittany, did you go to Kerok's mom's house or where did you parole when
not
you
right
first?
away.
No,
Not right
okay.
away. Yeah, I used to live with different people. I used to live with Shayla as well.
Okay.
So so the thing is, before I came home, I had when I first went into prison, I did not even know who I was yet. You know what I'm saying? So when
Right.
I came home, before I came home, like I said, I had stopped using drugs in prison, and then I became really depressed and I relapsed and I started doing drugs again in prison. Pretty much almost the time I went home, I was in a very toxic environment and just around a toxic person. Um, and Kerok was always the love of my life. I literally would say it all the time. I didn't care what he would say about me. If he said, there's no chance of us getting back together or anything like that, I would not care. The new intake people that would come in, I would tell them that he was my man and that he was off limits. And he was not my man, but I have Kerok's name tattooed on my face. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody knew that I was crazy for Kerok.
It took me a long time to realize that. Sorry to cut you off. That she was like that about me. I didn't believe it because I'm all right looking, but Brittany is just drop dead gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I look like Kermit the Frog. Like, why do
Kerok,
she?
stop.
I'm for real.
Ridiculous.
I'm for real, and I've never. I can clown myself. I
She's
don't
weak.
care, but I've never. She's really like the most beautiful, woman that I've ever,
You guys are the
been with.
most adorable couple I've seen in a
Thank
while.
you.
Thank you so much. I got a big head though, Kiki.
No,
don't
you
think that.
don't. No, you
You see the back of my
don't.
head.
My
I
dome
know
is
y'all be
huge.
seeing
Our kids
my
have a
my
huge head.
and my son gonna have that stack just like that. Like that. Put your hot dogs down, boy.
Okay, wait. I want to hear more. Okay, so Kerok wasn't crazy about you, okay, and you prayed on this.
He was crazy about me.
But he was
we
crazy,
had-
but you guys had bad blood. You guys had bad
yeah,
blood.
we definitely had
Had
some
bad
was working
blood. You
on
had some bad
myself.
blood.
Definitely have bad blood going on. And so right before I came home, I kept trying to have one last conversation with him because I didn't have any closure, You do. It looks like you're gone.
That's
babe.
what I'm telling you. I'm that black. Right now. Why did you say it looked like I'm gone?
Because it's a little dark now.
Oh my God.
We out here and
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. This is great. I love this.
Okay, that is perfect right there. No more.
That's
good.
perfect. That's
That's
perfect.
good.
Yeah, that's good. Come on,
Yes.
baby.
It's okay. No,
Come
this
on,
is
so I can
great.
share our crazy stories. So, I kept trying to get in contact with him, and one time he actually even told me through the window through somebody else to have a blessed day. But I was mad because he didn't want to be with me, and I was like, "Well, I'm with somebody else now. I don't know why he's talking to me." You know what I'm saying? But I still loved him. I wanted to be with him. When I came home, I would say it all the time. I would talk about him all the time because I was literally crazy.
Psycho.
It was like,
Psycho.
it was just awful. But right before I came home, I'm talking about, I had like, I want to say 20 something days left. I
Okay.
had a visit with my father, and he actually happened to be getting his first ever visit as well.
Yep.
And so I go up
My
there,
best
and
friend.
I knew that he was going to the visit because he was in a wheelchair at the time. And so he was being pushed, but I know his dome anywhere, you know? So, and I know, I just know when it's him. I know his walk.
You're like,
I know
I
everything.
know that head. I know that
Yeah.
head.
So he's going up, and I'm like, why is this my life? Like, why does he have a visit at the same time as me? And I'm going to have to sit in this freaking room with him waiting until we do our visit. And so I was so
Right.
stressed out because he hadn't talked to me since everything had happened between us. And like, we were not on speaking terms. He didn't even used to look at me. Like, I'm talking about, it was awful. So finally he comes up to me and he's like, why did you do that to me? And I was like, what are you? And so we kind of talked about that a little bit.
I don't handle, I mean, when I get rejected, because I got rejected so many times, you know, and when I get rejected, it's like, I kind of, it take me a while to like, you know, process it. I just kind of like, I don't know, like
It was on both of our ends.
it was both ends.
It was
You know
both
what
of
I'm
our
saying?
ends.
It won't just
And
hurt
I think
just-
it was just hurt, like,
Right.
for me,
For
it was
sure.
hurt. And for him, like, he just had come out of SAG, it
Yeah.
had been away for like, it had been almost 60, maybe 90 days since we had seen each other. And we were only together for maybe, 2 or 3 months before like we got separated, and we tried to make it work. And, I ended up going into a really bad depression and everything because I couldn't get to him. It was just a lot. And, we God has brought us a long way because
bruise my ego, Kiki. See, because I'm a man with
definitely
pride.
bruised his
I'm a man with
ego.
pride, right? So, well, I had pride at the time. Like, I wasn't known for, females doing me wrong. It was the opposite. It was the other way around. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. When I was in
And
there, I
then
had
when you're in prison too, even if you're not with somebody, you're still with them.
somebody. So
Right.
I was like, even though we not together, we together. Like, I don't know what you tripping like, but it's all right.
It's something
It
we've
took
definitely
time.
had to work on,
For sure.
But God has a reason why he does the things that he does, because if we didn't go through that patch, we might not be where we are now. But I remember literally like telling my friend, I was like, I don't even want to go home. I'm not even ready to go home because I don't have any closure with him. Like, I thought that I was going to go home to his mom's house. Like, this is really hard for me.
Right.
And so I come back. They actually, that same day for the visit, they made me come back again because they wanted to do a strip search because they thought that Kerok had asked me something. So I had come back, and so Kerok was sitting in the chair, and he was like, you're about to go home, blah blah blah. And he asked the officer, he was like, can I give her a hug? He was like, she's about to go home. And
why I did that?
And then,
because I said, I don't know why I did that. I was always getting hauled off, Kiki. You always see my arms behind my back getting hauled off to the.
So then I was traumatized from that stuff too. God. So then he was like, actually nah, because then they're gonna have to do all this extra stuff. He was like, can I give her a high five? And I was like, no. I said, give me a hug. Like I was so happy because
And I was trying to tell her, I was like, listen, because I know how they do me, Kiki. They like really did me crazy in there. Like the officers, a lot of male officers did not like me because you know, my reputation there. They always thought, hey, you know, he think he doing something or this and the third, whatever. And it was always an issue.
And I was Kerok's #1 fan. That's what some of the officers used to say to me.
It was
Oh,
always
gosh.
an issue. It was always an issue with me and any other female or something like that, or me and they saying my hands are in this, my hands in that. We ain't ready to get into all that though, but just, you know, just ignorant stuff.
Definitely. But
When I started like actually having like teaching a workout group, and they didn't talk about that. So when I started doing like actually walking like for breast cancer, leading the group and everything, they didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about when I started hosting Bible studies every Sunday morning. They didn't talk about that. Like
They
it was
only look
only
at the negative, right? Yeah.
They never talked about what Kerok started doing after all that, after he finally got his act together.
it was really hard. Yeah. Like I feel like they never, you know, changed the perception that they had of him. And like for me as well, like even when we were not together, I was still Kerok's #1 fan. And literally, like anytime I was walking outside or beating the boulevard, what they call it, they would, you know, sometimes they would take me to the holding cell because, and I'm talking about we were not even together.
Right.
And they would think that I was waiting for him to come outside, like just all this crazy
Like,
stuff.
yeah, all this stupid stuff. Yeah.
But I think
Unbelievable.
like and we were kind of like, it kind of feels like it's like fame in there, but in a different way. Like I can't explain it.
It's definitely like your own little world. Prison is definitely your own little, like your own little world.
At least where we were, it was definitely, you know, it was different.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I think that really prepared us for, you know, being on the TV show now. Honestly, like this is why we deal so good with so much of the stuff, is because we already been through it, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, because there was so much internal drama when you guys were in jail.
Oh yeah, but the difference is here you can get away from that. That's
right.
Over with.
Exactly.
You don't have
Exactly.
nothing. And there you got nothing but those Kiki. All you got is those four walls looking at you. Look at those four walls.
And you deal with it 24/7. You can't get away from those people.
With that same situation. Then you have certain people that when they were incarcerated, when they were incarcerated and they you know they go through that drama phase, they stay in that phase. Even when they come home, they stay in that phase.
Drank all my Red Bull. That's messed up.
They stay stuck at that age. Whatever age they were incarcerated at, they stuck at that age. I always say that.
I'm talking about Kiki. I had this roommate and she was right here. I just need you to open this room. She was 32 years old. When I went in, I was 18, 19 years old. I had to fight a 32-year-old woman. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yes. Yes. So they're stuck at that age, you know, of whatever they went in. They're sucked into the drama. The drama is their daily lives. So yeah, it kind of prepares you for like reality
TV. Daily life. It is like living in a reality. I swear, it's like being fame in there. I swear, it really is. It's crazy. But I truly believe that God placed me there for a reason. You know, I never would have thought, you know, that I was gonna meet the love of my life in prison. But I'm happy He taught me that one day. You know.
Yeah.
It was definitely,
everything happens for a reason.
It was God's will.
Kerok, the fans just want to clarify, and this is just kind of murky, and it's partially because of what TV does. Did you really want your friend Ami B to keep tabs on Britney while you were on the inside? Because TV made it look like that you wanted EB to keep tabs on Britney and to basically like be your ears and eyes.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna leave that at the suspense.
Okay, sounds good to me, because the fans are confused because they don't know if you wanted necessarily for him to be doing these things. But I got it.
I'm gonna leave that at the suspense.
We'll leave it as suspense. But you know, there's been lots of drama with EB and his wife Cupcake, red velvet cake. I don't know what her name is, Sweet Cakes.
What?
And yeah, she's
They all
going,
right?
I don't know. I don't know. She's made a couple of videos attacking me, apparently, I heard. And she's talking a lot of crap about the show and you guys. So I don't know. I guess we just pray on it, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just pray on that.
Absolutely. I don't watch the
We don't
videos
and
and
listen,
stuff
and
like
we've
that,
kind of
so
seen, if we're on this topic, we've kind of seen comments people drop about, people saying stuff, but we don't have that much time to kind of like tune in on that. You know what I'm saying? We really don't.
Right, because you guys are living your lives and you're doing your faith walk and concentrating on other things, and you had enough of prison drama, because
Yeah.
that's exactly what this
This
sounds
guy,
like. It's
I
prison
mean,
drama.
let's say this though, God bless him.
Right.
Point blank period. God bless them. And whatever they go through, whatever they're going through, I just pray that whatever they're going through, because you never know people's circumstances, And I'm not just gonna say them too. I'm gonna say everyone,
Everybody, yeah.
I don't
Right,
favor,
exactly. You never
I
know
don't
what
favor
somebody's
anybody.
going through.
Whatever
Exactly.
anybody is going through, and I just pray everything, be good with everybody. That's all. I pray that they
Right.
are.
Exactly. So, where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years?
Ooh, 5 years. I definitely see us being very successful people. I honestly think we have, and I don't say this because, this is my relationship, but I truly feel that we have a movie kind of life, both of us individually and together. We have been through some things
I
for
know you
young
guys have
people that
stories for days. Yes.
for days.
God is so
And
good, man.
I truly believe that we are going to be blessed. I believe that Kerok is definitely going to make it in his career. If you don't like his music, you don't have to, because you don't have to listen to it. But the whole purpose is, his purpose is really that, to show people that are hurt, people that are from the hood, that you can vibe with it. Like God loves you, regardless of the fact. And his music is very soul touching. It's and really, I feel like at the end of the day, you guys don't even know what his music is really like, because he doesn't have any songs out there, right?
Right, exactly.
But definitely, stay in tune with that. I definitely see him doing that. I definitely see myself being a businesswoman. I want to be an influencer. I want to get into making videos and stuff like that. I love music too, though, so I don't know. I want to be a mom. We're probably going to be married and living somewhere else, but
in a beautiful home.
I hope to one day be able to buy my grandmother a house or something like that. So I hope that 5 years from now, we can look back and say that we've accomplished at least 5 things that we really want to do in life, at least when it comes to our career, our family, our faith. I think that we're going to do well. It's not easy, we do argue. We are regular human beings.
Right, exactly. Nobody's perfect.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, like, when I look back at those arguments, I think they're so funny. It's funny to talk about stuff like that. Like,
right.
I don't.
But that's what couples do.
I love Kerok, and I truly do. I truly shut up, babe. I truly do want to be with him for the rest of my life. I actually in prison promised him 10 years on the Bible. No doubt without it that I have to do 10 years or else I'll die. So in 5 years I'll still be with him,
It's crazy, man. Something's wrong with her.
No.
You guys are funny. You guys are too funny. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go, but do you have a final message for the fans? Kerok, you go first. I'll let you with your message first.
I love y'all. Anybody, anybody, and I mean everybody, even the hate comments. I want to tell y'all, people.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm not
Thank
being
you for
funny.
thinking I'm pregnant, guys.
Hold on, baby.
I just
Even this is a message simply for people who is actually experiencing hate right now or is going through that. Let me tell you something. When I see things, or I hear things, when it comes to people hating you, right? You have to actually accept them and take them for who they are. It's difference between, so you got your petty haters and you got your diehard ones. Your petty ones are the ones that drop a comment, keep it pushing. Your diehard ones are ones that actually sit and consistently stalk your page, or stalk with your movements, and stalk what you're doing, and stalk this and stalk that. And I'm gonna tell y'all this: when they're actually doing that, don't you really just think that they are your admirers? These are people that point out your biggest flaws, or try to get to know you better and just live vicariously through you, and that's okay.
Right.
You have to actually accept your haters and think of them as your admirers.
Yeah.
And literally love them. When I mean I real life pray for my enemies, I pray for those
Every day.
my enemies to come. I pray for them first.
Every day.
And then I pray for myself. And you have to actually do it with no malice intent in your heart, because when you bless in secrecy, God rewards you openly.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell y'all something, all y'all girls, with everything we were talking about with sexual abuse and everything, I can just say this, that when you truly find the ability to be able to forgive the people that hurt you or that hate you, it is a whole different feeling. A couple of weeks ago, we went to Virginia Beach, and me and Kerok had a beautiful ocean view, like it was gorgeous. And I sat outside with him and I told him, I said, I want to pray. And I have never been able to forgive the people that sexually abused me. It was 3 boys. I was never able to forgive them. I was angry. And I finally got, from that moment, feel a relief off of my shoulders somewhat.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And I feel like in the past weeks, like, don't you feel like I've even been a little more different? Like
More bubbly, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm talking about, and Kerok used to say this sometimes, and it would hurt my feelings a little bit, but I was really miserable. I was a miserable person, like
I'm bitter. I would say that you were angry or bitter.
I'm very.
I wouldn't say miserable word.
I'm very sweet though, don't get me wrong, but it's like I was very. I'll use the term miserable, because that's literally how my inside felt. Even with the biggest blessings that I had, I couldn't be happy because I was so angry and hurt inside,
Right.
So like, when y'all find that ability to be able to forgive, it is so beautiful. I promise you. Keep praying on that, or meditate, or whatever your belief is. But that's the best way to do it, And they really, like they say, if you don't have no haters, you ain't popping. And that's the real truth.
Luke 6, I believe it's 26 to 27. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. And pray for those who persecute you. Y'all continue to be great and successful in life, and never let nobody get you down. You can come from wherever, the hood, wherever, and you can make it. That's all we have to say. Stay tuned.
Yes, and definitely stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Sorry, y'all. I was watching because we're getting the room cleaned up.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And we're gonna stay tuned. And you guys are returning for Life After Lockup. Have we seen from the commercial?
Hey, look,
Kerok, you guys jump out of a plane.
Guys, we cannot
wait for
y'all.
We got some really good news, but we can't even say anything.
I know.
All said and done. But when I mean we got some great news that happened to us, like our whole life really did a 360. You know what I'm saying?
Anything is possible, y'all.
With God.
Yeah. So we're gonna stay tuned, and I'm gonna have you guys back. Okay,
sure.
You guys are gonna come back. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go so you can enjoy the rest of Britney's birthday weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mary. I definitely appreciate you, and I'll definitely keep you in my prayers.
Have a good day, Kiki. I thought it was Kiki.
It's Kiki and Kibitz is the name
Kiki and Kibitz is the name of a channel. But
why you have me calling you Kiki this whole time?
Because people call me Kiki. It's okay.
Oh, all right.
It's okay. That's okay. You could call me Kiki. It's okay. I don't mind. You could call me Kiki. It's okay. I don't mind. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you, everybody.